Here I'm is 2022. What you gonna do? It's Tuesday at 5, and that ain't no jive. You're gonna break on through. Oh yeah. Brad Irvin's with me. Oh yeah. I'll wait till y'all get on in the house a little bit. There's Dylan Dorsey coming on in. Getting ready for a little breaking on through. Hey, Dylan. Daniel LeGrand is watching. There's John Adam. And Trusty Nathan Trusty. Jason Little. From all the way on the the left coast. The west coast. The Dean of Sods. Katie After Dark is here with us. And there's my main man, Callie. I think it was Callie. Jerry Morrow. Bill. Kitty Cat. Andy Miller. It says he's actually on time. Me too. There's Marvin. Boy, y'all coming in hot and heavy now. That's good, that's good, that's good. Keep it on. I'm going to go ahead and get started, though. Am I a member of the Hells Angels? I am not. I do not join groups or organizations. The only group I'm in is ANTiSEEN. That's it. "45 years ago today, the Doors released their first album, and the first song on that album is Break On Through. I know some of you probably wondered, damn, Jeff Clayton, I wonder if you got that from the Doors song. Yep, that's where it came from. Am I the biggest Doors fan in the world? No, I guess not. I mean, I like them a lot, but, you know. The whole thing about Break On Through, man, that's just something that my mentor, Scott Savage, used to just use he used to use that phrase all the time. And it stuck. He would introduce us. You know, there's a tape somewhere of him introducing Mad Brother Ward. You know, it shows, and right before he'd give the big, he'd say, "All right, it's time to break on through to the other side." And, you know, that kind of stuff had an impact that stuck. "36 years ago today, we lost one of the greatest rock and roll frontmen, songwriters ever. Phil Lynott of Thin Lizzy left this world 36 years ago today, and it's time for everybody to lift their Break On Through brews in a toast to Phil Lynott. You are correct. Name I cannot read. No one here gets out alive. Make sure you do something worth doing before you get to the exit door, though. Yeah. I got some really, really good news today. I want to share with all of you, because so many of you write me privately asking and checking up, and my granddaughter, Little Winter, went to get her cochlear ear implant activated at Duke University yesterday, and it was a success. She can hear. And man, I'm telling you, I appreciate all the well wishes, all the good vibes, all the sweet notes and emails. I appreciate the prayers. There's so many of you out there, and I know a bunch that would say, "Oh, hey, keep your prayers." Man, I'll take anything you got. And I'm gonna go ahead and say this to you. I'm a believer that it works. So thank you. Thank you to the professionals at Duke University for helping that little precious thing pull through. She's only a little over 2 years old, man, and it's been a rough 2 years for that little kid. I'm glad to see something work. So thank you, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and take care of a few endorsements. On the Mark shirts, Bad Street USA Toboggan. Where are you going to get one of these? On the Mark shirts. That's all. That's it. Only place. On the Mark shirts on Facebook and Instagram. You can find them. Just type On the Mark shirts and it'll show up. Any type of link you need will be there when you do that. I suggest you get on it though. There ain't a whole bunch of these made. He didn't mass produce these things now. That's by the way, that's embroidered. That's not screen printed or heat transferred or digital printing or none of that crap. This is embroidered. When the people at On the Mark shirt said, "Jeff Clayton, we're sending you out some Bad Street toboggans," it was like 78 degrees here in Charlotte. I was like, good gosh, man, toboggan. But now it's back down, like right now it's in the low to mid to low 40s. So, it came in handy. Thank you, On the Mark shirts. Man, I hope everybody's had a good New Year. I mean, we're only 4 days into it, but man, if you can, spread a little good cheer and all around, you could do this for yourself or some of your friends, man. You can go to Janice Blythe's store. There's a link to it on our website and on her Facebook page and her Instagram, which, by the way, there is a new ANTiSEEN Instagram. ANTiSEEN _established 1983. That's me. I've had some people asking, checking in. Hey, man, is this you doing this? Yes, it's me. So it is 100% official. But go to Jenna, like you might say, God damn, man, Christmas and all that, I can't be spending all this. Man, she's got these great vinyl stickers. Look at there. $5 gets one mailed to you. $10 gets 3 mailed to you. Good gosh. 3. Car, toolbox, guitar case, all taken care of. Oh yeah. And I don't know if some of you may have noticed today I made a post about some stuff I've added to the website, the merch page. I just did a swap out with Blood Orange Records, and I got some early G.G. Allin stuff in my store now. This brand new Blood For You 7-inch. And I'm not going to discuss these in depth. I'm just going to show them to you. Bored to Death, Beat, 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 One Man Army. Dead or Alive, Occupation 7-inch. Oh yeah, man, they've done a great job reissuing this stuff. Cherry Love Affair in 1980s rock and roll. These are just 7 inches I got. I got 4 album titles, including Gigi's LP debut. Always Was, Is, and Always Shall Be. Live at the Rat. Biggest Tits, 1980 to 1986. And Out for Blood. Go ahead. Get them all. Get on there and get you some. You'll become direct from OJC himself. Oh yeah. I've had a few good mail days this week, man. This one thing in particular I want to show you guys before I get started here. My main Michael Bowen, who is conducting interviews for what is supposed to be the definitive book on G.G. Allin. Well, he's been looking at my my Facebook post, and he's like, "Damn, old JC, I didn't know you was that heavy into the 70s blaxploitation stuff." He's like, "Man, I have a poster collection I just sold to a library." I was like, damn. Not that I got any room for it. Man, every square inch of room, every wall I got is filled up with something. But he sent me this one right here, and I'm gonna tell you, I think something's gonna have to come down, and this one's gonna go up because this is too good. And this is what I think is an original movie poster. I don't think it's a reissue. Either way, I don't care. It's badass to me. I can't unfold the whole thing where you can see it right now, but this is a poster for the movie The Black Godfather. There's a new Godfather in town, and everybody wants his body. The FBI, some very foxy chicks, and the mafia. Something tells me they all want his body for different reasons. Now, I've seen the movie. The movie's excellent. Okay. Now, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, for old JC here, 2022 has kind of gotten off to a rocky start. Now, I'm not going to go deep into it, you know, because, man, I ain't going to sit here and whine about it. Miss Clayton probably has to hear me whine about it more than anybody. Miss Clayton and my co-worker Will probably have to hear me whine about it shit enough. And so I won't burden all of you. But it just seems like a lot of things are just not going right. And you know, a lot of the things that aren't going right have to deal with now it's not new, but it's a newfangled way of doing things. You know, where businesses refuse to talk to their customers. Everything has to be done through automation because it's supposed to be more efficient. It's supposed to be better. I'm here to tell you right now that is bullshit. It's not efficient. It's not better. I'm going to go ahead and out one of these companies. One of them is Verizon Wireless. I have been on the phone with these assholes every day. Sometimes twice a day. Since the day after Christmas. Every phone call, man, the information I was given was different. Every one of them left me with a promise. I'm going to call you back tomorrow and find out if everything was... They didn't call me back. I was told today about 3 o'clock I'd have a tracking number. Well, at 4:30 something, I didn't have no tracking number. And man, look, I understand that the people that are on the other end of the phone, that when you finally do get somebody on, it's not their fault. And I try my best to stay cool, calm, and collected, and somewhat polite, and not start, man, because I'm telling you, I have screamed at people on the other end of the phone before to where they just hung up on me, and that don't get you anywhere. Get you hung up on. Then you have to go through the process again, all over from the start. So I've taken a new approach, and because I know it's not them. I'm going to tell you, Miss Clayton works in retail, and her employer has pulled a bait and switch on their customers, telling them they got, I'm not going to get into it too deep, but telling them they have this, which allows them to do this, and then there's very fine print on the receipt. But if you try to do this, but you can't do that. You know. And the way she puts it is they come in there every day and they just basically beat the shit out of them with their rudeness and their attitude and their, just shittiness. It's a retail job. You shouldn't have to deal with that. But so that's why whenever I talk to these folks on the phone, man, I started out with, look, I know this isn't your fault. You don't have nothing to do with it. But I shouldn't have to be calling a company as big as Verizon Wireless like 9, 10 times. It's the new way. Which brings me to my next subject that I want to discuss with you, and that is putting out records. I'm talking from the very start of the not from the songwriting process. That's the creative part. I'm talking about the technical part. You've gone to the studio, you've gone to your friend's house, you've gone to your mama's basement, which could be your bedroom, I don't know. But you recorded your music, now it's ready for release. Well, see, back when we started in '83, everything was analog, meaning everything we recorded was on reel-to-reel tape. And you like everything about a release has to be decided. And it's a lot of stuff people don't think about. But you have to decide, how long a space do we want the songs, do we want the song to end? Bam! And then you want to make people start wondering, well, damn, when's the next? And bam, it comes on. Our approach, man, we always, and Jamie Hoover, who used to record us, in the mid-90s all the way into the early 2000s, he described it as, man, let's sequence these songs like it's an AM radio station, where one song ends and you don't even have time to think about how good it was, and the other one's already started. That's the way I like to sequence the records. Bam, bam, just like, if any of you have seen us in the last 5 or 6 years, that's the way the live show is now. Bam, 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 bam. AM Golden Hits Radio, bam, one hit after another. You don't have to wait. Put your feet up, get your drink on through, brew, bam, bam, bam. We're going to hit you one up with one over the head every second. Now, sometimes an atmospheric pause is necessary, but these decisions, when we made these in the 80s and 90s, they had to be physically put together that way. Now, your studio technician had to be skilled in a lot of different areas. And man, when I say edit your tape, I'm talking about he had to put that tape, stretch it off of the reels, lay it down on a cutting slice, take a razor blade, and cut it. And then he had to take it and splice it together with tape. But when you're creating space, there would be plain white leader tape. And these guys would take these reels and do them by hand, manually. Zip, zip, zip. So when they heard that last zip, and it's quiet, they know, okay, that's on the playhead right now. So let me take this down and cut right here. All right, so this is music. We need some space here. And put some leader tape in between. So now your song goes da 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 da, bam. Next song starts pop 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 pop, boom 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 boom. You had to physically, manually arrange that. Now it's just cut and paste. Boop, boop, boop. There are some things about technology today that I am thankful for. One of the things is that procedure biting the dust. I saw someone say before that analog is the best. Man, I agree. Analog sounds the best. I agree with that. But now, to find analog equipment, to be able to get analog tape, it's all really expensive and all kind of difficult. But, man, we were one of the last to go full digital because, man, I held out as long as possible. I was really defiant when it came to, that. But when we went digital, it had not yet gone to where everything was on a computer file. It was... we put everything on, it was still a tape. It was called an ADAT, which looked like a videotape. So I guess it was still analog to a degree, but, I fought that. Nah, we ain't doing that. Till eventually, you go buy a reel of tape that used to cost you, $60 or $70. Now it's like $170, whatever. And you're just like, God damn, and then you had to hope that your source that used to carry it still carries it. So I reluctantly surrendered on that front. And Then it went complete digital. Now everything's done by files, and and I do appreciate the quickness of that. You're done with your record. You're listening to it on your computer, and then in a matter of seconds or minutes, you turn it into a WAV file. You send it to your mastering guy. He's got it. No mailing the tapes, insuring the tapes, doing some next day air on it, especially going overseas, man. That was all your work in a tape going overseas. Whew, boy, that was a stressful time. Send it out. Well, I'll wait 3 weeks and see if it gets there. So there are parts about it I like. Sequencing is one of my favorite parts of the process. I think it is my favorite part of the process. Now, Sir Barry Hannibal, he's really into the recording aspect. I am not. Some of that's that tedious stuff, man. I can't handle it. Like, do all that drum stuff and the tones of the amps and stuff, do all that before I get there. I used to have to sit through all that. Barry takes out because Barry loves that stuff. I'm very fortunate that he does. I do like, but it's all part of the editing and the sequencing, putting the stuff in between the tracks and all that. I love doing all that stuff. I'm not the fondest of the mix down process, but that's one that I like to be part of because we've dealt with people in the recent past that it's like every other business, a gigantic business like Verizon Wireless or a one-man operation in his basement. They don't want to deal with anybody. So it was a whole thing where they'd do a mix down, send it to me and Barry, and then we'd have to, we'd listen to it, and then me and Barry are still good about getting on the phone with each other. Hey, what do you think of that? But the emails, you text this, that, and you think you're going to get an answer on your text, but someone else had sent one before you, and you're reading an answer to that, and you're just like, well, when is my damn question going to get answered? Your question is all the way up the line, and, that kind of shit right there drives me nuts. When it comes to the mix down, man, I like to be there. The sequencing, all that, I like to be there. Even when it comes to the graphics. Now, me and, Phil Keller still does a lot of the ANTiSEEN graphics. And we had a really good arrangement going there for a while. I'd just go to his house, and we'd sit there at the dining room table with his computer stuff, and man, we would just, I'd scan everything here, send it to him. He'd have it in his email already, ready to go. I bring my maps I draw. I draw these maps of what I want for people. And TKO and Phil, matter of fact, they've all saved all the maps I've done. They keep threatening to put out a book of them. I think they'll be pretty hilarious. But but we had the arrangement where, we just go to Phil's house. I'd go to Phil's house, and we'd sit down at the dining room table for a while, and we could knock that shit out. Now, sometimes it took hell of a lot longer than we anticipated, and I could just say, all right, you're going to take care of this, 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 and this, and then, I can go, you can do that tomorrow. That ended up happening a few times. But see, now it's all done by email and text. And I'm not a fan of it, because it seems like something always goes awry. So, I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever get back to that. I mean, to be honest with you, this, I'm not going to say it because I don't want to get flagged. I don't want to be, have a little thing stuck on my post going, ah, this is misunderstanding. But ever since the plague, things have just been different, man. Everything. Matter of fact, I was going to have you a report from the studio today, but I don't have that report because our studio session got canceled Saturday due to the engineer being sick. It's at his place. So no studio. I think I will be going to the studio Saturday. We're looking at a 50-50 chance that I'll be in the studio Saturday. And it's not this Saturday, next Saturday, if me or Barry don't get sick in that time period. But back to, putting the stuff out. I always preferred a hands-on approach, even with the, the graphics, the mix down, the sequencing, all that stuff. And thank goodness test pressings are still done the same way. They still have to send you the test pressing. You listen to it on a few things, and I got a really weird. I don't know if it's weird. I don't really talk to a lot of other guys on what they do with their test pressings. Maybe that's something you can discuss on here. But like when I play a test pressing, I don't just sit right there in front of the stereo and listen to it, because if you're too far over the stereo like this, it's all low end. If you put your head down there at the speaker, you hear all that high end. We got a lot of high end. In my apartment that I lived in before I moved into the Break On Through Studios here, Clayton Manor, I used to play the test pressing on my turntable, which was all the way at the other end, in front of a glass door with a blind closed behind it. And I would have the speakers going straight down. I would go all the way to the kitchen, which was in like a little booth, with a cutout you could look at and see. And I used to go into the kitchen to listen to it. And some people they crank the records up. Yeah, about loud. I got to hear it loud up in here. I don't do that either. I listen to them low. Because when not so low you can't hear it, but a comfortable, like you could talk to me. But I like to listen because when it's low, and you can still hear everything, like you go, okay, that's what the bass is doing. There's what the guitar is doing. I hear the background vocals. I hear, all the percussion, the cymbals, any kind of extras you throw in there. If you can hear it there, you're going to hear it. Now, as the volume goes up, some frequencies eat others up, and things tend to disappear. But I don't listen to music, wide open, to where it's like concert sound, loud. I don't know if it's too loud, you're too old, but whatever. But I like for it to be at a comfortable level. Unless I'm doing something and I play it so loud you can hear it from outside. But like here in this house, we have a hallway that goes into there's a racetrack around, and there's rooms in the middle, laundry room, bathroom, closet. And I can walk from the kitchen, the dining room, the living room, around the hallway, past the bedroom. I go and play it loud enough where I can walk down the hallway and listen to it. And I'll let it play, and I'll listen to it in different spots. Because, like I said, if you get too close up on it, that's not an accurate representation of what you have. And the last test pressing I got was a Scott Savage record. And man, I'm telling you, that thing sounds incredible. I can't wait until this thing is done. But yeah, I walk around in different spots of the house. I did that with the Scott record. When I was listening to it sitting on the couch, just kind of, okay, let me hear, make sure, there's no problems with it. I was just like, God, it sounds so nice and clear. So then I gave the volume a little twist up, and I started walking around the house. And it sounded good in every position. And I'm hoping soon we're going to get the test pressing for Live from Quarantine 2. Halloween in Quarantine. Still no test pressing on that one. Man, I'm telling you, the record business is backed up. Now, I'm not going to sit there and go, oh, well, it's got to do with the supply chain and all this crap. I don't know what's causing it, man, but they're telling some people records could take up to 8 to 10 months. So, I see someone listening to them, listen to test on different, yeah, we do that. Now, the way we used to do at the beginning of the digital age, we burn it to a CD and go listen to it in the car. I mean, everything sounds great in the studio with the playback speakers, everything sounds great there, but go listen to it in your car. If it can sound great in your car, it's more than likely going to sound great on a home stereo. But, yeah, man. I mean, there were things back then that were really time consuming, but they were more hands on. It really felt like you were creating something. I'm not going to sit here and go, oh, it was so much better, because there were things that were better and there were things that were not better. There's things that I'm grateful for. That technology took a little bit of the time-consuming aspects out of it. But I was having a discussion with the Minister of Propaganda, Malcolm Tent. And it was odd to find out that he felt the same way about this particular issue that I do. And there's, like, when you get in to these projects, right, and it's new, like right now, it was such a like we're working on great disasters right now, and this process has been one of the most fun records we've ever worked on, and it's got to do with the lineup and the people we're working with and all that. But the waiting for the finished product to come back, it's a lot of anticipation, a lot of, there's tension there because there's always shit going wrong now because the printers, the pressing plants, they're all doing more. I don't know if they're doing more now than they were doing back then, but I would say there's fewer pressing plants, so the workload on the pressing plants, and in conjunction with that, the printers and all, it's pretty damn heavy. So there's going to be I think a lot more room for error. So you wait for the tests, you wait for the proofs, then the thing comes to you. And I was talking to Malcolm about it. Malcolm said it first, and I said, man, I am the same way. Like, when it comes, you're like, yeah! And then all of a sudden, like, it's almost as instantly as you're happy to have it, and you're studying it and looking at it, then it's almost like, and I don't do this literally, but figuratively, you kind of just toss it to the side. Okay, what's next? So, that's the way that goes. But I still enjoy doing all these projects, you know, and like Malcolm introduced to me the hand cut lathe projects. And we got more of those lined up. We got all kinds of new stuff lined up. Remember me telling you about the Hank, Are You Sure Hank Done It This Way 7-inch? Great Disasters LP, Live from Quarantines Part 1 and 2. That's just new shit. There's the reissues. Next is going to be a double album of Here to Ruin Your Groove. And there's all kind of talk about it being close to time to re-releasing Southern Hostility and Eat More Possum. Noise for the Sake of Noise is on that list too. There is also the talk of singles box set. Singles box set. So all kind of stuff, man. All kind of stuff getting ready to come out. And it'll be the same. Like, God damn, I can't wait. I can't wait for that. And it gets here. Yeah! All right, I need the next thing now. And that's the truth. And you heard it here from old JC. I'm going to go ahead and cut it off today. A couple minutes short. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to me rant and rave and talk about the good old days. I reached out to a couple of you today saying, hey, what do you want to hear about? You know, and man, anytime you can think of a subject that you want to hear about, message me. In most cases, I always write them down. I may forget where I wrote them down, but I write them down. And I'll go ahead and tell you this. Now, don't say, hey, tell us what was Gigi like? Man, I've done a bunch of break on throughs about Gigi Allen. So go on our YouTube channel and subscribe. Bing, ring the bell. While you're there, visit Malcolm Tent's YouTube page. And if you're thinking, God damn, I mean, I just can't get enough of this good shite, go visit KD After Dark. His YouTube page, which is updated with new content daily. Every day, something new. So, here we are, 2022. Let's get in there and get it. But remember, 2021, 2022, no matter what you do, we're still going to have to break on through.